Now, in the year 2000, Julia Roberts won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her portrayal of Erin Brockovich. The movie told the true story of a single mum who, despite her lack of experience, managed to win a huge lawsuit against an American gas and electricity company.
Well, our next guest has been labelled the Welsh Erin Brockovich after she courageously took on her local council to secure her son a better future. And Kate McMurdo joins us now to share her story.
Hi,
and welcome.
Hi.
It's lovely to meet you. So the beginning of your story, you were 37 when you fell pregnant with Lewis. The relationship with the father... 27, sorry. It's my writing, I can't read it. The relationship with the father broke down and you raised him alone for the first 2 years of his life.
Yes, that's right.
At the age of 1, you say you noticed that there was a difference in him. He wasn't reaching his milestones. That's him, we can hear over there. He wasn't quite reaching his milestones, was he?
No, so I hadn't been too concerned up until that point. He was sitting up, rolling over, smiling and all of those things. Got to 1 and I noticed that all my friends' children were overtaking him.
Right.
And as that time progressed, younger children were overtaking him.
Okay.
And that was really hard. You know, he wasn't saying words, he wasn't trying to walk, or he just sort of kneeled everywhere. He didn't crawl properly and he didn't walk.
So as a mum, you knew that something wasn't quite right?
Yes.
So when you started to express concern, how seriously were you taken?
In the beginning, not very seriously at all. I felt that they just thought he was too young to make any sort of formal inquiries. So I was talking to the health visitor, I was talking to the GP, I was in regular contact, and they just sort of kept trying to allay my fears and say, oh, don't worry, all children develop at different rates. And I just said, I know there's something not right, and I just want to get to the bottom of it.
And also the frustrating thing is you need to get a diagnosis in order to get access to these special facilities, and you didn't get that official diagnosis until he was 4, I think?
Yes, it was a long process.
So then there's sort of this window where things are OK because he's going to this school and they've got a brilliant facility there, which is really good for him, but that is only up until he's 7 years old.
Yes.
And then the fight has to start again to the next bit to get him the help that he needs. So you're heading towards that age, that's 7, he's getting towards 7, and you know that you've got this battle on your hands.
Yes.
It's a battle that you're going to need legal help with. It's one that you haven't got the funds in order to do.
That's right.
So what did you do?
I decided that I would just try and take matters into my own hands and try and empower myself with knowledge and learn the law, just to do it myself, basically, because I was in a lot of forums with parents. I could see where this was going. I could see how many families had been broken by the process of fighting to get their children into the right school. And I'd been to see a very nice school, and they told me that all the families had to have legal advice, and 2 different independent schools I went to actually handed me solicitors' cards and said, look, you're going to need this.
So you knew that you wouldn't be able to afford any outside legal counsel. And this is the Erin Brockovich bit, really, I suppose, isn't it? Because you think, right, OK, well, I'm going to enrol myself in classes and I'm going to teach myself how to be able to fight this battle on my own.
Yes, and it wasn't just for the purposes of education. I think any parent of a child with learning disabilities, special educational needs, will have gone through many battles in health, education, social care, and you're trying to work out what is going to help you, what your rights are. At the same time, you're caring, you're very tired. Lewis doesn't sleep very well. You're up in the middle of the night. You're a full-time carer. You're constantly on the phone, emailing, writing letters, and trying to research what you need to say to convince them of what Lewis needs. So, you know, I just knew that it was like being David and Goliath, you know, they know everything and you know nothing. That's what it feels like.
And you also had another child as well, so life is really, really busy. Although you did it and you're determined, and it's because of your love that you were determined to do this, to give him the best possible start in life that he can have. But you did need an awfully good support group around you, and you were very lucky to have that.
I was so fortunate. So I started at Swansea University. First of all, the lecturers and tutors were very supportive once they realised what was going on. So I was glad that I opened up to them to, shine a light on how difficult things were at home with Lewis. And then my friends, 2 friends in particular, Amber Hardin and Kerry, and well, they were mums as well. They had children and they got me through it. And if I missed any lectures, any classes, they would get the notes for me. They would ring me up. I'd be on the phone to them till all hours. They'd invite me over their house, go over things with me, revise before the exams. Just really amazing women.
And once you'd gone through all of that, as predicted, you needed all that experience that you got, everything that you learnt to search for the right school.
Yes. So, although when you do... So I did the graduate diploma in law, which is sort of a condensed version of a law degree, because I already had an undergraduate degree. So they teach you all the core skills, all the research methods, how to research the law, look at case law, understand precedent and so on. And I did a module on human rights and children's rights. So they provided me with the tools I needed to be able to research education law by myself, because they didn't teach me that.
I understand. So well, then when you go into this meeting with the council, and this is in April 2018, you used all of that knowledge you had, you did all your research, so you were fully prepared, and you sat in front of the board there, and one of them was the deputy head of one of the schools that they were trying to suggest would be suitable, which you knew it absolutely wasn't suitable for your child. So how did it go when you were in there? How did it feel?
I sort of had to really psych myself up to go in to start with. It's very nerve-wracking as a parent. And there was this panel, there were 2 representatives from the council, there was the deputy head, and I took a social worker in, and I had prepared this lever arch file, and I just spent an hour and a half talking at them, basically, highlighting our rights, where they'd violated the SEN code for Wales. They'd not told us by the 15th of February that, you know, what placement we were going to have. And I just, I highlighted all the breaches that they'd made and the problems with the school.
Did you notice a change in the attitude in there?
Definitely. Within about 5 minutes, they just sort of backed down and didn't know what to do. They were trying to say things, and I had an answer for everything because I'd researched it so thoroughly. I knew my rights. And
you knew you'd changed their minds, and they were actually very nice about it, I think, towards the end.
Yes.
And within a week, you'd got the place that you wanted.
Yes, it was amazing. I didn't have to go to tribunal. I was just so overjoyed. I think we got the call quite early in the morning, and I think we opened a bottle of Prosecco, to be honest, about 11 o'clock in the morning, dancing around the kitchen, knowing that I could sort of take my foot off the gas with that and then concentrate on the exams that were coming in sort of 2 weeks' time. And finally just put that to one side.
So how is he? Because he's all settled in, I presume. And how is life for him now?
So he is so happy there. That school has literally done wonders with him. He's communicating using pictures, and he's starting to say some words, and last year he started calling me Mama at the age of 8, which is honestly, I was
just amazing. We can see him here now, and he's with his 2 carers, support workers that he's got.
Rowena and Ethan, I couldn't live without them. They're amazing.
He is gorgeous. He's seeing himself on the monitor, I think.
You want to go on to continue your work as a barrister, but I mean, obviously, you've got all the responsibilities you've got, so you want to sort of work from within, don't you?
Yes. So initially I wanted to be... I thought I could go ahead and press on and be a barrister. I realised the intensity of that work and the fact that I would have to travel so much that wouldn't be possible. So now what I'd like to do is I've applied for a scholarship to do a PhD, so I can try and use my research to influence policy change and change the legal framework.
Well, I have no doubt you'll do it. When you commit yourself to something, it's incredible what you've done. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Well, Swansea Council say our priority is always to put the well-being and education of children at the centre of what we do in order to meet their individual needs. We worked with Lewis's parents to agree what was in his best interests. We agreed that his needs would be best met by going to a specialist school in Kidwelly. We are very pleased to hear that Lewis is doing well in his new school. And well done. What do you think of the fact that you've been likened to Erin Brockovich?
Well, it's very flattering. She's an amazing woman, and it's probably one of my most favourite movies. I'm not sure I quite deserve the same accolade as her after what she did. I haven't helped quite as many people as her yet.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thanks very much.